I'm on to my number one. Yep. The whole reason I did this list in the first place. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? The best damn Nintendo game ever. I didn't care if I was any good at it. It was just cool. Because anybody that's seen the movie kicks a whole ton of ass.
That's not a really movie for kids. Like, if you watch that now...
Totally not. What they did to the shoe and the acid and all that stuff.
Well, that was for kids, I think, that scene. Just because, so you know he's a villain. I don't think adults really care that much about a cute shoe. But, I mean, like, Jessica Rabbit.
Jessica Rabbit.
Oh, that's all I have to say. And it's like, oh, yeah, that is an adult's movie.
Absolutely.
There's, like, nice booby trap and all that.
And just what the rabbit wanted to do to Jessica Rabbit.
What I don't know what tunes do. Do you remember Cool World?
Yeah.
Which pretty much was made because of Roger Rabbit. And then he was like, man, that is a hot cartoon chick. I wonder how far I can get with a hot cartoon chick. Let's make a movie that looks into that. I want Cool World on DVD and Roger Rabbit on DVD. I need both those.
Back to the game.
Actually, I think I have Roger Rabbit on DVD.
I think you do, but the game Who Framed Roger Rabbit, just absolutely fantastic graphics wise. I mean, because they could just basically take everything out of the movie and just put it into the game, and you had a lot of interaction as far as
you could punch things.
You could punch things. You could wind.
He really winds up those punches. Eh? He's on like 1 foot jumping.
Yeah, and that was the detective, obviously, that we were talking about.
Yeah, Eddie Valiant
would always punch Roger Rabbit. Excuse me,
or the Weasel guys if you saw them, or random people. It was almost like Grand Theft Auto in the way.
Yeah, and you could punch people on the street, and then they would drop their wallet, and you could grab it.
Really? That's
or could you? Where would you? Did you find money in the hotels? I can't remember.
You could always find a wallet in your own garbage can at the Valiant Detective Agency.
It's true.
Remember, you just like go in, back to your starting point, grab a wallet, leave, go back in, grab a wallet, leave, go back, grab a wallet, leave.
Yep.
But yeah, I know why you like it. Not only because we played it an awful lot. Like I said, much like Fester's Quest, it's one of those games where we just had it. Maybe we had 4 or 5 games, so if it was one of the games, you'd probably end up playing it a fair bit.
It's true.
Yeah. Real variety of games. I don't remember if they were really getting very far into because we probably didn't know what to do. But I think it's the mechanics of the game that you liked.
Well, yeah, and like also the idea of this thing that sticks out for me is you could call the cab and you could drive the cab around.
Yeah, you had to mention that. I know driving around was one of our favorite things.
Yeah.
Just not going anywhere, just driving around the Hollywood or California or whatever, and just seeing the sights. It's a pretty big map. You go like to the countryside.
And that was the thing, I think, is and just to fast forward a little bit to a lot of the Grand Theft Autos and a lot of the games that we play now, that we're drawn to games where we get to explore, shortcuts and different things like that. I think Roger Rabbit had a lot to do with that because it was so elaborate as far as the map.
It's really a trailblazer game, and the more we think about it, really.
Absolutely.
Hard to beat though. Like, remember the last boss? Like, we never knew what to do. I think I figured it out eventually, but it was very specific thing.
Did we try Game Genieing that?
Yeah, we had to try Game Genie because remember there was a Game Genie code where you would just always have a super punch ready.
Yep, that's right.
And what we would do is we would get Judge Doom, the last boss, into the corner and just pound him repeatedly for like 20 minutes and. It's like, how do we beat this game?
Or rather, he would pound it repeatedly and I would just cheer in the background because he was better at the game than me.
Just, infuriating to play unless you knew what you were doing. Like, it was kind of like an RPG or one of these, like Maniac Mansion style games where you had to use the very specific item. I still don't remember what to do. I think you had to turn the ooze stuff. What was that stuff called?
Oh, I can't remember now.
Dip. The idea is the dip pump thing that was pointed towards where he was. Like, you punch him a few times and then you knock him up to that one platform, and that's where the dip hose is pointed. So I think at that point you have to use the dip on him, and then that melts him because he's a toon.
Right.
Spoiler alert. And then I think that's how you beat the game. But we didn't know, because back then, that's why you, like I said, Nintendo Power. If you don't have the magazine or whatever to tell you what you had to do, well, oftentimes you wouldn't know. We didn't have a YouTube channel. We didn't have Game Facts, Game FAQ, .com. We didn't have those. We didn't have any walkthroughs of any sort other than that magazine. And to get your parents to buy it after they already spent $60 on a game for you. I don't know, because like I said before, about you would get maybe one game a year, right? Because kids these days, they don't know. Their parents get them everything they want. Like, why do 10-year-olds have like iPhones? It just blows my mind.
I know.
It's crazy. And they'll have like laptops. I don't have a laptop. Well, you have a laptop. I don't need a laptop, but maybe I want one. I don't need one. So I haven't bought one, but it's just weird. Kids these days. But yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say again. Oh yeah, but the thing is, like, if you had a game like Roger Rabbit, maybe the magazine came out the same time as the game, but maybe you didn't get Roger Rabbit until like the end of the year at Christmas time. So you wouldn't even be able to get the magazine anymore because it'd be out of print.
It's true.
So that's kind of lame. That's probably why you would get a subscription to the magazine just in case you needed it later, or I guess you could order back issues.
Yeah, I can't remember how that all worked because I just remember wanting the game, the magazine, and it just sometimes I got it, sometimes I didn't.
I love the maps. I've got a shout out to Castlevania in general, which isn't on either of our lists. I was tempted to put Castlevania 2 in there. Cause,
you love that game.
Yeah, we played that probably the most of any of them. Like, 1 is a perfectly playable, complete game. 3 is like more of the first one, but better. You could take multiple paths. You get extra characters and all that.
Yep.
2 was the one we played the most, and people hate 2. Like, you know, the Angry Video Game Nerd on YouTube, right? Like, I think his first video was him hating on Castlevania 2. Mm-hmm. And granted, there's an awful lot to hate about that game, but it just... Nostalgia Gog was on full blast. Like, Castlevania 2, that was amazing music. Like, it was one of the first ones where you could really go back and find things, and you're looking for pieces of Dracula or something, and it's like, just to play it, it's a real pain in the ass, but man, it's just so much fun to play. If
yeah,
you don't,
really
if you play it to play and not to beat, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just the music, like, once again, Konami music, man. Good stuff.
And that's why we go back to Fester's Quest again with like stuff like that. Is we just a lot of those games we didn't play to beat, we just played to play.
Exactly, man.
We originally played to beat them, but then we realized that we couldn't, and it was impossible, so we just played to play them.
It wasn't that important back then. Like, nowadays, there's so many games where you just want to get through them so you can get to the next one. Like if you've seen the videos I've uploaded, like, there's just... I'm always adding more games. Like, it's more of a collection. The game, for me, is the collection.
It's true.
But actually having the time, especially now that we're adults, and having to still be interested in, like, video games, like, some games are like 100 hours of game time, just to get through, if not more. It's just, I don't know how anyone can do it anymore.
Yeah, I don't have the time.
I don't have the time. It sucks. We have the time for this because we love you and we want you to know how we feel.
Yeah, we both carved time out of our day to get this done for you, for sure.
But one more shout out, Bionic Commando. Remember Bionic Commando?
I gotta say something. I'm really surprised. I waited to the end of your list. I can't quite remember the name. I'm gonna say
Rockin' Cats?
no, Amazon Man, or what was that?
Amagon?
Amagon.
Dude, don't spoil anything, but I was thinking of doing an 10 obscure NES games video.
I gotta let you guys know, I'm freaking surprised over here that he didn't have Amagon Man.
No, I did the responsible thing. These are the games that I think, like, everyone can enjoy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm just thinking in terms of, I just thought at least the nostalgia goggles would go on for that game for you. At least
it's not even a shout out. I wasn't gonna mention it.
Wow,
dude,
my whole universe is upside down.
Once again, super spoiler alert for something I was gonna do later. But as you may recall, that store, it was on Quadra Street, that I went to, and I was like, I'm sure bored with Mega Man 2. Maybe I'll trade it in for something else. What will I do? So I'm looking at this random used game store, and I'm like, I'm down to 2 games. I can either give them Mega Man 2 and give them some of my hard-earned, like, late 80s earned money, and I'll get Ghouls and Ghosts, or I can give them Mega Man 2 and they'll give me some money and the game Amagon. Then I'm playing all 3 of them. It's like, well, I kind of like this Amagon game. And I didn't keep that Amagon, but I have Amagon now.
Cool.
And like I said, I'm thinking of doing one of these again later, a top 10 obscure NES games. So stay tuned for that. And that's definitely going to be on that list.
Absolutely.
I don't want to talk anything more about it to spoil anything, but yeah, Amagon. Which had nothing to do with Bionic Commando, might I add. But yeah, fair enough. Definitely a good shout out to another crazy game. Bionic Commando, I was tempted to put it on this. It and Rocking Cats. You remember Rocking Cats? It was like very these are games where you'd have a hook or a claw, and then you grab something, and then you swing around. So you're kind of like Tarzaning around. You shoot enemies and all that.
Yep.
Both Bionic Commando, Rocking Cats, great games. Look for them if you don't have them, if you don't have access to them, and well worth your time.
Perfect.
So, do you have any other shout outs before we do our number ones? Or you did your number one, right?
I did my number one.
Alright. Also, another shout out to Tetris. You'd think that'd be on our list, but it wasn't.
The only reason it's not on my list is because I have Tetris on my phone.
Yeah.
And I play it all the time.
That's the thing. It's the ultimate handheld game. Like, if I made a top 10 Game Boy games, it would probably be number one.
Yeah.
Super spoiler alert.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was just... that's the way it has to be. I mean, the fact is that Tetris doesn't need to be mentioned as far as nostalgia goes because
you almost forget about it. It's like Angry
all the
Birds
time.
for your modern devices now. It's
Yeah.
like you don't even think to mention Angry Birds anymore because it's kind of like the ultimate staple game for just cell phone gaming.
It is the game, right?
Yeah.
Like,
but yeah, Tetris. Like, it sold the game.
one more shout out I gotta give to is just for me, for no reason at all, and probably not a lot of people would like this game. I had interest in the stock market. There was Wall Street Kid.
Wall Street Kid.
Was
I should have you know I own that game now.
What? Is it here?
No.
Let down. So that was an awesome game. You basically invested in stock, and you had to. It was a young kid that was left a bunch of money from a widowed uncle or a parent.
Must be nice.
And he, but in order to do that, he had to make enough money in the stock market and save all this stuff from foreclosure and different things. So he had to pick stocks and sell them, and you had to make money basically doing it in order to buy certain things throughout the game. I just thought it was really awesome. I enjoyed, the looking up stocks and trying to predict them. It was like the real world. It was awesome.
Fair enough. I never played it. I know you like to play it on emulator and whatnot. But yeah, cool. Alright, so I guess we're down to my last game. My quote-unquote number one best Nintendo game. So you sort of mentioned it already. You didn't really mention it. You mentioned the first one, which is a bit wrong. Because I kind of have to go with Double Dragon 2, The Revenge. I'm going to zoom this one even closer. Zoom! Man, it's dark. Look at that. You can't see that because you can't see it. I hope we'll look pretty well then. But yeah, Double Dragon 2, like everything we mentioned before in your Double Dragon 1 mention, but better in every freaking possible way. Just get your spin kicks. Remember you're knocked down and then you get up. We never knew quite how to do it, but sometimes you'll get up and you do that super neat, that ping, then you knock the guy like across the screen. Oh, so good. One of the best co-op games ever made. Double Dragon 2. Just amazing. It's got, remember it's got little cutscenes, not unlike Ninja Gaiden, which we should also do a quick shout out, but not now, because this is Double Dragon time. But, like between every level, you get like little cutscenes, pretty cool. You get amazing music, some of the best in the series. Like I said, co-op, you can choose to either have friendly fire on or off, which is a nice touch. You got the moves, you gotta grab guys by the ear, you're hitting them in the knee, you're throwing them over your shoulder. It's just, the first boss is like a mix between Kane and Vader. Remember? That dude is like, then he disappears for some reason. You don't know what's going on, but it doesn't matter because it's Double Dragon 2. Apparently this takes place after the apocalypse. Is that weird?
And now we're talking about it in December 2012.
Ah! Maybe this is what happens. This is just foretelling the future.
Maybe we need to play it to know where to go so we don't...
It's just a couple dudes saving chick from evil ninja forces.
It's perfect.
It's, you fight Arnold Schwarzeneggers.
Oh, we do fight Arnold Schwarzeneggers. I forgot about that.
There's that one room where it's like, there's a super low ceiling and there's spikes on the ceiling, so you try to uppercut them into the ceiling so the bad guys hit the ceiling, then they get hit by the spikes, then they fall back down, and then maybe they drop a grenade, so the grenade blows them up too. You're like, yes! Ah!
Fucking right.
And then there's that one boss where it's like a train, the train rolls in, it's taking up the whole freaking screen, you're like jumping up the train. They had platforming moments, which are always a pain in the ass, but only because you suck. If you can't do it, you know, try harder, because this is Double Dragon 2. You gotta give it your all, man. Just, putting that back in there. It's gonna explode.
Alrighty, thank you.
But yeah, pretty
Do you want to do a quick splitter so you can?
Is there anything else we should mention about Double Dragon 2? Great music, controls good. Oh, there's that helicopter scene where the helicopter's shooting at you, so you have to duck back down. Didn't know the helicopter was shooting at you. There's that one little level where you're in the helicopter, and the whole level is just a tinier screen because you're in the helicopter cargo bay, and the door keeps opening, and everyone keeps getting sucked out of the door. That's sweet.
And you have to kick people out of the door.
Yeah, that's always fun. That's another great thing is that the enemies and you always had the same restrictions. You know what I mean? Like if you got like to a Bobo, the first boss from the first one, and you get him on that conveyor belt, and then you try and time it just right so you kick him down, but he's close to the edge of the conveyor belt, then the conveyor belt drops him down, and he's instantly dead, and you beat the first boss without technically beating him. That's great. I love that. Remember the second boss of the first Double Dragon, you got him in the, it's him, you're at the top of this tower. All you need to do is run away. You just climb the ladder back down, and then once he's out of the screen, you've beat him. That's wacky. I love it. Too much fun.
Too much fun indeed.
Alright.
Alrighty.
Well, Steven, thanks very much.
Thank you very much
For being
this
a part
was
of this
fun,
video.
and thank you all very much for tuning in. And I want to mention, myself, if Steve will be more than happy to have me back, we will be doing a definite shout out to Super Nintendo.
Yeah, we might do a top 10 Super Nintendo list. We're going to need to take some time to think that one through because there's more games, I'm sure, on Super Nintendo.
It's true. It's going to be a really big, hard list to put 10 down.
It'll be
without doing 150 shout outs. And then we'll definitely go from...
I can tell what some of the games will be. Contra 3. Link to the Past, those are definites. Mario World.
True
I'm
Lies.
3 down already, so it's actually not going to take that long.
True Lies.
But once again, spoiler, they will need to watch that episode, so we're not going to say anything more about Super Nintendo.
It's true.
But yeah, so once again, I am Steven. This is also Steven, and thanks for watching our top 10 NES video. I'm sure by now I've broken it up into a few pieces, so maybe this is part 3, maybe it's part 2. I don't even know. How long are we at? Almost an hour. Wow. Nice. Good work.
That's good.
See, I had to get this guy in on this video because, like I said, we grew up together. We had the Nintendo. We played the Nintendo, and I hope you appreciated the passion that we brought to the screen.
Yeah.
Because that was imperative. You can't have a video like this without the passion. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And let's talk. Well, why don't you?
And the rapport.
Absolutely. And why don't we do a little breakup so in case you do part 1, 2, and 3, and we can just film it.
I will. I'll probably just throw in some edits, maybe a little message or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be good. I'm sure by now you.
So I might not be in the edits then if he splits it up into 3 or 4 different.
Yeah,
things.
I'll just put some words in there. You know.
Good.
Drop screen. Part 2 begins there. Maybe do previously on. No. Alright, well that's it.
Cool.
So once again, thanks so much for watching, everyone. Feel free to check out the other videos I've uploaded to my YouTube channel here. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and all that. Hopefully the apocalypse doesn't happen. And yeah.
Absolutely. And as long as it doesn't, we'll be back again with another video for you.
Alright, dudes. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good one.